Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I would love for you to like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a video. So it will be technically Saturday when this video goes up, because it'll be after midnight, but y'all, I'll be working and stuff. So but anyway, today's video is going to be my pros and cons of working as a Med-Aide. And this is just from my experience. I've been a Med-Aide for a long time, and I just want to share this with y'all for anybody that's thinking about becoming a Med-Aide. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the video and not waste no time. So the first, I have a lot of pros and I don't have that many cons, but the first pro is working independently. What I mean is like working by yourself. To my introverts, I'm a fellow introvert. I love being, well, I like being by myself. I like staying to myself for the most part. And with working as a Med-Aide, I would say 80% of the time I'm working independently. I don't have to be beside somebody. You know, I'm working by myself. As a Med-Aide, I'm in my own lane. I take the cart, go down the hall, and I'm giving out the medicine. Nobody's watching me 24/7, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely a team player, but I would prefer working by myself. And being a Med-Aide does that for me. I would say 80% of the time when I'm working as a Med-Aide, I'm pretty much in my own lane. I'm by myself because I'm just testing out medicine. Of course, like, if there's something that's going on with a patient, of course, I communicate that with the nurse. Or if I need to communicate something with the CNAs or whoever, of course, I communicate with them. But for the most part, as a Med-Aide, I'm in my own lane. So I ain't got nobody bothering me. You know what I'm saying? It's just me and this medicine. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I love about being a Med-Aide. The second pro I have is not physically hard, such as something like being a CNA. Everybody know that's hard physical work, but with being a Med-Aide, I'm not really doing much. I'm not doing hard labor work. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing hard physical, difficult work. The medicine is not heavy, you know. Pushing the cart down the hall is not hard. I'm not doing no hard physical work. And after being a CNA for so long, you know, when I get to work as a Med-Aide, I really enjoy that. I'm not killing my back. I do have to bend over the, like, let's say if a medicine at the bottom of the cart, but that's like for what, 3 seconds. But I'm not, you know, lifting people, turning people, tugging people, and all this crazy shit. I'm getting the medicine, which is not physically hard to pass out medicine. So the next pro I have is I can take my break when I'm done, meaning, so as a Med-Aide, well, the place I'm at now, I normally get done with my first med pass around 5:30, 6 o'clock, right? And after that, like, I'm free to do like honestly, I'm kind of free to do what I want. Like, I could go out to get something to eat, and I have enough time to go out and get something to eat if I wanted to, and come back and eat it. Like, as a Med-Aide, oh, who they pulling over? Sorry, y'all. Saw the police lights flashing. Who they about to pull over? But what was I saying, y'all? Yeah, as a Med-Aide, when I get done with my first med pass, I can sit down and I don't have to like rush to take my break. I don't really, normally I could, like, I'll tell the nurse where I'm going. Like, if I'm going in the break room or they have like this living room area. Lots of times I take my break in there because I don't like people all in my face when I'm trying to take my break eating. That's another introvert habit, y'all. Because the break room they have is kind of small, so everybody's like close together in that break room. But I don't really like, okay, as a CNA, you know, let's say you have 2 CNAs working on the hall. Of course, they can't go on break at the same time, so you have to make sure your hall partner, they good, and let them know you're going on their break, and then they can't go on their break until the other CNA comes back. And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? With being a Med-Aide, I don't have to do that. I take my break. I can take my break when I'm done. And like I said, I can take my time. I'm not rushing, like, oh, because really working as a Med-Aide, to be honest with y'all, I get more than 30 minutes for a break. I get way more than 30 minutes. Because I don't start my evening my night med pass until about 7:38. If I'm on the heavy haul, the long-term care haul, I'll start at least 7:30. Maybe a little bit earlier. But if I'm on the rehab haul is not that bad. I could start that at 7:30 and still be done at a good time. Just because the rehab hall is not as demanding, it's not as many patients as versus the long-term care side. So I don't smoke, but if you guys, you could call it a smoke break. I could just take a little 15-minute break and still get my work done on time. Yeah, now, every once in a while, a patient might ask for PRN medicine, or can I have this? Can I have a pain pill? And I go up, I see if they can have it. If they can have it, I go give it to them. If they can't, I let them know why I can't give it to them, So I always get my break as a Med-Aide. It ain't no, is a CNA gonna come back on time so I can go to my break? It ain't none of that. I love it. So the next pro is only responsible for passing out medicine and checking blood sugars and reporting to the nurse. So I like being a Med-Aide because to me, I feel like it's a good, how can I say this? It's a good middle point between being a CNA and a nurse, because as a Med-Aide, you passing out medicine. That's literally your job, is to pass out medicine. Also, Med-Aides can take blood sugars, and that's like my only responsibility is passing out medicine. Make sure, of course, I'm passing out the right medication to the right patient at the right time, the right route, and the right dose. That's my job as a Med-Aide. And I can check blood sugars. And my job is also, of course, if I see any changes as a patient, in my patient, of course, I report to the nurse that's above me. As a Med-Aide, there's always going to be a nurse in the building over me. And that's really my main responsibility. I do help out the CNAs if they want to pull somebody up in the bed, or they need help doing a 2+ patient, or dealing with a difficult patient. I'm not no lazy ass Med-Aide. I help them out. Because honestly, I have all this time. Why not? And yeah, so that's my main responsibility. Like, if somebody falls or if something's crazy going on, let me go find the nurse. You know what I'm saying? As a Med-Aide, I think it's a good job because I don't have that responsibility like a nurse has. However, I'm not physically working my ass off as if when I'm working as a CNA. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like it's a good in-between job, like the best of both worlds almost. Like, I don't have the responsibility of a nurse, but I'm not breaking my back. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? It's not a hard job. If you know how to pass out, once you get the hang of passing out medicine and making sure you're doing it the correct way, being a Med-Aide is not a hard job if you're working at a decent place. If you're working at a good place, it's not a hard job. So yeah, I only have 2 cons. The first con I have is you only work in nursing homes. The only place the Med-Aides can work is nursing homes. So you're very limited as far as the work environment versus nurses. Nurses can work in so many different environments, like the hospital, you could be a school nurse. There's even some nurses that work from home, urgent care, clinics, doctor's offices. There's all kinds of stuff. But however, with Med-Aide, the only choice you have to work as a Med-Aide is in a nursing home. Now, somebody had told me that they're going to try to make it where Med-Aides can work in daycares. I guess they can give out medicine to the children. I don't know. But as of right now, the only place Med-Aides can work is a nursing home. So you're very limited. And I'm tired of working in nursing homes. But that's the only place a Med-Aide can work. They don't use Med-Aides at the hospital or in doctor's offices. So you don't have a lot of opportunities as like a nurse would. So that's one con. And the only other con I could think of is you can't answer certain questions. So when I'm giving out the medicine, you know, these patients grew up probably in the 1950s. You know, they're up there in age, so they probably don't know. Some of them, like, what's a Med-Aide? Like, all they know is a nurse and doctor. That's what most people know when they think of the health field. You think of what, doctor and a nurse, right? So if the patient's asking me something, or even a family member, I'm giving out the medicine, they might be like, what exactly is this for? Of course, like, okay, if it's something like a Tylenol, I know what Tylenol is for. But if it's something, this big ass word that I don't know, and they're like, what's this for? What's the side? What's this? What's that? I don't know. Because Amar doesn't always say for this. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be like, I don't know. Let me go ask the nurse, or I can look it up. And, you know, sometimes they might look at me like, wait a minute, I thought you was the nurse. Like, no, ma'am. I'm a Med-Aide. And I can understand why some of them could get confused. Like, because some of them probably ain't even never heard of no Med-Aide. They didn't have Med-Aides, you know, a long time ago. So they're like, I thought you was a nurse. Or you the one giving out the medicine, you don't know what it's for. Well, I never had nobody tell me that. But I do be sometimes I'm a little embarrassed if a patient, especially if like the family member is there, and it's a random medicine, and they be like, do you know this? Or other questions, like ask me for some kind of medical advice. Like, can you look at this spot on my bottom, or can you do this? I'll go tell the nurse, and they be like, oh, I thought you was the nurse. Because when you're a Med-Aide, I feel like a lot of people, especially the patients, they look at you like you are a nurse because you're the one that's giving out the medicine. So it does kind of look like, oh, she's the nurse. She's the one that's giving out the medicine to everybody, so she's the nurse. So to me, I hate when I can't answer certain questions. And even if it's like a question that I think I know the answer to, I don't want to tell them nothing wrong. So I'll be like, let me go ask the nurse. Now, there's some things I can answer, like, do you think this Tylenol will help my headache? Obviously, I can say more than, you know, hopefully it will, or more than likely it is, because that's what it's for. If it's a question that I know the answer to for sure, that I can feel comfortable answering, I will. But if it's something that's out of my range as a Med-Aide, even if I think I know the answer to it, I will say, let me go ask the nurse, because I don't want to tell them nothing wrong. So, but overall, I love being a Med-Aide. It's a great position to be in. I would say, honestly, I don't think I would recommend it long term. But it's a good position to have, though. It's worth getting your Med-Aide. I enjoy it. So that's going to be in this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment below if you're a Med-Aide or if you're thinking about becoming a Med-Aide. And I will see y'all in the next video.